here in Las Vegas now with AZD and the core of IMC Nation. 30 guys who have moved across state lines, and more are coming. There's another one coming July 1st. There's another one local, actually. It's quite a story, but he actually comes from Bay Area and recently relocated here also. And anyway, he'll be joining up too, which is great. I mean, I'm talking about inner circle, committed guys. There's hundreds of members around the country or around the world. And then there's thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of followers, people who've been exposed to the message, however it's communicated. Oh, here's the left turn. Woo! Pretty nice. Pretty perfect, actually. With a soft touch also.
Yeah, that was a good.
Nice and soft.
Nice roller coaster.
Okay, I'm going to put the phone down here.
Yeah.
There you go. So, this movement is incredible. It's a way of communicating, and it infects anyone who's listening, because the words are imbued with a kind of aesthetic and a power, a meaning. There's an intention between each word, and in a way that we're tuning to aspects of people's characters and people's mentalities. And it's not all theatrical and like musical and formal and things like that. It's a natural aesthetic that God, let's say, put there. That what we find beautiful, we didn't decide what we find beautiful. What sounds beautiful, we didn't decide that sounded beautiful. Tasted beautiful, it looked beautiful. Like, we have a sense for it, just like a sense of hot and cold. And whatever. So that's pretty cool, because there's a way of tapping into that beauty. You don't need a paintbrush and a pencil or and a paper to draw on. You don't need an instrument other than your body. And you don't need an instrument in the sense of, I don't know if this is 2 lanes or not. What the fuck?
One is for right turns.
What is it? Right
no,
only?
it does. You can go into this because it has its own lane afterwards. Wow. You're saying you create your own beauty.
I'm saying that beauty is available in any moment, because it doesn't depend on having the physical instrument or the whatever device to paintbrush. It's, you can find beauty in your living, in your movement, in your sound. That can be so beautiful and captivating.
Right.
That pulls attention onto it. And that's so cool, because I didn't create that beauty in the other person to recognize it. Like, the person has to, like the old quote, the beauty of a sunset is within you. Because you see the beauty of the sunset, but you're not experiencing it. You're only experiencing it through your nervous system and your brain, in your mind. Yeah. Through your eyeballs. The beauty of the sunset is inside.
Yeah.
And, but what makes something beautiful? Like, that people decide to be that it's beautiful or not. They don't decide it's beautiful. It's like it's the truth. It is beautiful. And beauty's not the eye of the beholder, and it's subjective, and some people won't think it's beautiful. Right. But why do so many people think it's beautiful? Why can it be mostly agreed upon? Right. And even if it's not, like, people may disagree on like fake breasts and be like, it's not beautiful or whatever, and yet they all react more positively to it when they're not in control of their titties more than other titties. And then the hater will come in and try to mind control and tell people, no, that's not attractive. As if my words make it more real than your DNA is making it real for you. But that's the mind control of the hypnosis about that stuff. So, the aesthetics, I can speak in an aesthetic way. If they didn't understand English, the people on YouTube. Yeah. But the way that I demonstrated my communication, how I used my body, how I sounded, my face, all these qualities of what it is, which I could try to hack every detail and like make it sound more certain, or go downswing instead of upswing with my tonality, and try to like manipulate but there's if I am certain, then
can we get gas?
I'll probably sound certain. Yeah. It's close up here, so this one.
Whichever one.
That's like the only one I can go to.
Oh, we missed this one. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's incredible that, because I was feeling that when we were shooting this scene and recognizing
What's up, guys?
how anxious I was if I was being aesthetic or not.
Right. So that goes back to what I was saying before about relaxation. So the step before a private moment is just to relax. Because it's in the beginning you'll find some relaxation in the private moment. Like you'll do the private moment and you'll relax. And you'll always probably find some relaxation in the private moment. But don't use the private moment to relax. Go into the private moment already super relaxed. Yeah. And so for like that scene that we just went through, I would have prepared you more.
Yeah.
I would have prepared myself more, honestly. Yeah. It was the first experience for me.
Yeah.
And what the video's for is little bios of individuals, prominent individuals, like, quickly telling a kind of a story of the character who is the person.
Yeah.
Like a little video intro of the character in the movie.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Dope.
So they had a bunch of ideas, and I didn't want to take away them capturing those ideas, but I also had ideas that I wanted to make sure I got my ideas captured.
Of course.
So you always make sure that you have your agenda, what you want done when you're doing some transaction.
Yeah.
Is it on the left or right?
Left.
Okay, guys, so the private moment is where all of this starts. So we're going to have to park in the sun.
Yeah.
I could go around. And the private moment is an exercise when you're in front of audience of your peers. Here it's IMC Nation, and that audience can't be underemphasized. Because having the right audience, if we get a bunch of like liberal, transgender fucking audience, we get weird feedback about our beingness. And that's where it becomes apparent that, that is a beingness. Like, you don't want the character of a transgender in this game. It's not a good beingness. It's retarded. And so many beingnesses, people are retarded. That's what I'm saying. Their private moment is so weak and uninteresting and unaesthetic because their living is so unaesthetic.
Yeah.
And that's what the private moment trains you. That's the beginning of the AZD process and what we do in IMC Nation. How we are players, but authentic, organic, real, good. We're for a force of good is because we are playing the art of the social dynamic. What are you creeping on my fucking followers? You seen how many people are on?
Yeah.
Cheater. Yeah.
A good amount.
So it's a kind of it's the game of life and the code of aesthetics and beauty that God put into the matrix.
Yeah.
For men and women to interact. And there's an evolution in not like the art, intellectual language of like to measure the geometry here and circuitry and science and like that kind of numbers, and it's a language of personal expression that is not because women don't know how to express themselves. Like this woman barely knows how to express herself. Barely.
15.
And guys, they don't know how to express themselves, and that's a lot of suffering. That's an ignorance, and people are not doing well. Even the people on spiritual path, they're not doing well. Nobody's doing well. Like nobody. That word is like falls on deaf ears. Like, what does nobody mean? It means nobody. You don't know anybody that's doing well. But IMC Nation guys are doing well because it's a state of mind, and it's a purpose, and it's a community, and it's a self-awareness, and it's all of those things are needed. You could have the self-awareness, but if you don't have the community, you're going to quickly lose your self-awareness because you're just going to spin off into an illusion of your own.
Yeah.
And it's an illusion that you even reached self-awareness. So all of these ingredients, what we have going on is the remedy. It's the recipe of the remedy for the ignorance of mankind. And the main symptom of his ignorance is the terrible relationships between men and women. That is what makes it so visible. But the roots of that is the illusion of life. It's just pure ignorance to the deepest levels. But imagination and communication are the keys. And to get control of imagination, presence, private moment, and relaxation. And then communing with nature and all of that stuff.
Yeah, because as I was tapping into the relaxation, once I start walking, or I mean into the imagination, then I start walking. Not being relaxed took away from the imagination because the thoughts crept in and they're like, oh, you know, does my cheek look weird? Does this, does that? And, you know, and I could see now that...
Casino? I could see now. Okay. I gotta end this. We'll keep talking.
Yeah.
Guys, private moment only happens in person. It's in Las Vegas. That's where it's happening. Join the daily classes. Join the membership. Join as much as you can. Whatever it makes sense to you to do. Because this is a real game. Real communication skills. That'll really change your life with men, women, parents, kids, everything. Because it's a way of thinking and it's a skill of communicating. It's an ambitiousness. It's a focus. It's an ethics. It's the ethics that makes it work. You guys are funny.
What?
You guys need game. Everybody online that's commenting all this BS.
What are they saying?
Shut up.
Oh, sorry.
So, you need to measure for yourself how you're doing with women. How you doing with women. Measure it. How would you measure it? And see how pathetic it is.
Yeah.
6 months ago you had sex with somebody, or you're talking to this friend that's a neighbor of a friend or something. It's pathetic. Or you're married and your nuts are crushed. Like, who are you commenting? Who are you? You know you're in a miserable condition, and what you can't measure is how much it will take for you to get from your condition to my condition. But stay tuned. I gotta go. Los. Yeah, it seems weak to you until you have anything to say, Lean. Like, if you think it's weak, then come around and say something to 5 or 6 guys that live together. It's like a whole bunch of other men. It's not alpha. I could be wrong, though. Seems weak to me. How is it weak? What do you have to say in person? You're on the computer typing. You are weak. I don't care if you're a 600-pound strongman. 6 wolves on you with daggers are going to kill you. You'll die in the wild. I'm not saying that we will do that. I'm saying that you are weak compared to that force. And now, do that same thing economically, intellectually. If we have to strategize something, if we have to do some kind of movement, if we have to do anything, there's 5, 6 minds of intelligent men who know enough how to communicate around each other in a space, even if it's a big house, so that your girls don't cross lines, so that you don't step on each other's toes, so that you don't leave dirty dishes, so that you're actually on top of your shit. No, it can't, because first of all, I don't go somewhere and talk shit on their stream. And second of all, you don't have guys around you like I do. So it can't happen to me unless I act like you. The way you're acting gets you that result. Just change how you're acting, you get a different result. It is a gang, but it's not a gang of criminals. That's the thing. Just look up what a gang is. I'm not advertising it's a gang, but the code is there of men. Yeah, just look at who's commenting. That's the gang code. That's why it's dangerous. That's why if you go into prison, you're going to have to join a gang. There's just no other choice. So whether you go in there for racketeering or something stupid. So that's what it is. So I got to go, but subscribe. So everybody notice the hater. Everybody should know the hater that spends time hating on someone's video has so little going for them.
Yeah.
So like nothing. This stream is actually the only thing he has going for him, because it's literally what he's choosing to do with his time. So it's like the best thing he has. So how can I get mad at a hater? This is the best thing he has going for him.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing, actually. I almost got mad, and then I was like, wait, this is the best thing he has going for him. That's why he's on it commenting. And he has so much hate and anger in him that his only way to express himself is bullshit, which, if translated properly, probably means, yo, bro, I admire you. Thanks for putting this message out. Yeah. But he says something stupid like, whatever he says, you're broke. I would fold you. Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. See you guys.